Speaking of Liverpool in cup competitions, we're going to end with the FA Cup. Stevie Nicol, who's this a bigger game for on Sunday, Manchester United or Liverpool in the quarterfinal?
Oh, easy peasy, Man United. No question. Listen, if Liverpool lose this, it's well, okay, you know what? It's one less to worry about. It is Man United away, you know. It's not inconceivable that you lose at Old Trafford. But guess what? We've got the Premier League and the Europa League to look forward to, so that's okay. If you're Man United and you're elbowed out of this competition, where do you go from here? Nowhere. Your season's pretty much done because you ain't getting in the top four. That's for sure. So your season's pretty much done. If Man United lose to Liverpool, go and book your holidays, everybody. So yeah, absolutely, Ten Hag. This is big for Ten Hag, and he certainly can't afford a drubbing, which it won't be. It's at Old Trafford. It's not going to be a drubbing. I think Liverpool are favourites to win the game, but it'll be tight. But yeah, this is a big game for Ten Hag, no question.
Oggy's sitting in his throne in his living room, and he's kind of just saying them, that little team, Manchester United. Yeah, the last time that Liverpool went to Old Trafford, they lost. Oggy, Mohamed Salah pulled one back late, but it was 2-1 to Manchester United. So I think we all agree that it's a bigger game for Manchester United, this one. However, this is one of these, we've just been speaking about potential upsets or shocks. Would it be a massive shock if Man United were to beat Liverpool on Sunday?
No, you can't say it'd be a shock if Man United beat Liverpool, because as bad as United have been this season, it's still Man United. They do have some quality players who just haven't performed. But that game last season, United went into that really in crisis. They'd lost the first two games of the season, and 3 games into his reign, Eric Ten Hag was being questioned. But 18 months on, and they're going into the game in some kind of crisis again because they're miles off where they should be. And Stevie's right. If United lose this game, they're in the twilight zone for the rest of the season because they've nothing to play for. Although there is an element they could scrape 5th place if that becomes a Champions League spot. But I don't see Tottenham sliding back to be caught by United or even Aston Villa. So it's a big game for United. Of course it is. And I think with Liverpool, if they're going to start seeing the games mount up, and the priority for Liverpool is clearly the Premier League. They have to win but they want to win the Premier League to see Klopp off and also equal United's 20 times domestic champions. So the FA Cup might get in the way. If they get out of the FA Cup, then semi-final weekend they can get a Premier League game done. I think they're going to go all the way in the Europa League now, so that's going to obviously drain the resources. So it wouldn't be a bad thing to be out of the FA Cup. But obviously Liverpool are a club that want to win everything they play for. They're not one of those clubs that can pick and choose. They're not like Tottenham under Pochettino. They go for everything. So they'll want to win this. But yeah, it's a bigger game for Man United. But as soon as the whistle goes, as Steve, you'll know, there's no way Liverpool will say it doesn't really matter to us this, it's only FA Cup. Sure. They'll be desperate to win. They've got 9,000 fans at the game on Sunday. So as soon as that game starts, it's massive. And it's the biggest 2 teams in English football wanting to get one over each other.
Stevie, Liverpool getting the big players back at the right time with the business end of the season just around the corner.
Yeah, somewhat. I'd still like to have Kanate back 100%. I wouldn't mind having Jota as well. Yeah, they're getting them back, but it's going to take some time for to pick up from where they left off. I mean, Slobozlai's a good example. He's come back and he's played in a couple of games, but he's not yet near the sharpness that he had before his injury. So yes, they're getting them back. It's a question of how sharp are they going to be when they come back, and how long does it take them to get that sharpness back? Because at the end of the day, we're now getting in the period where you can't afford slip-ups, you can't afford losses, you can't afford to drop points, and that means you have to have not only your players back, but they have to be at it. Mm-hmm. And that for me is the key. As much as getting them back, what sort of condition are they in to be able to produce what we know they can?
And Oggy, United getting players back as well, so it's all set up quite nicely for Sunday. Who do you expect back that's maybe been missing for the last few weeks?
Yeah, United are getting players back, but they're not as good as Liverpool's that are coming back. That's the only downside, because Mo Salah's coming back and Aaron Wan-Bissaka's coming back for United, so there's a slight difference there. So you're looking at Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Rasmus Højlund. It does give United a bit more strength, but these guys aren't going to be match fit. They haven't played for, in Wan-Bissaka's case, a long time, so it gives them a bit more depth. I think the United's big losses, people like Lisandro Martinez at the back. He brings a lot more kind of calm and composure. But, you know, if United can get the injured players back on the pitch, looking like they're fit enough, if Rashford performs, if Bruno Fernandes has one of his games where he's more disciplined and just runs off everywhere, they might have a chance. I still think Liverpool are going to win the tie, though.
Mm-hmm. All 4 games from the FA Cup quarterfinals live on ESPN Plus in the United States, starting off with Wolves against Coventry. That's the early one on Saturday. Then Manchester City against Newcastle, and 2 on Sunday see Chelsea against Leicester and Man United against Liverpool. All 4 games live on ESPN Plus.